Have you ever heard of the Y2K? Um, this is just a thought that came to me when I was driving in a car with my friends earlier, and it was what if? What if it happened? What if the Y2K, that millennium bug, whatever you want to call it, happened? You probably watching this won't know like all the details of it. Your parents might know a little bit about it. Basically what the Y2K was when it hit 2000, year 2000, a lot of people thought that computers wouldn't be able to handle it. And basically they would shut off, like the dates on them wouldn't work, which could wipe out all electricity. So, what if it happened? I made these notes. They're not accurate, but they could be semi-accurate, so don't take my word for it. But what if all electricity went out? Let's say it went out for, this is being generous, for one day. What would the world be like? So I calculated that there are 16,500 hospitals in the world. Okay, now say if there was 200 patients at each hospital, that would be a total of 3,300,000 patients. Now say that only 10% of them were on life support. All that would be cut away. None that would exist. So you could literally lose in one day 34,450 people. 34,450 people. That's like at minimum. That's like what I can live with. Probably minimum. Okay. Now let's move on to cars. All the cars nowadays are electric. That means like the lights are electric. They're connected to your radio. They're connected to your battery. So I calculated there are over 659 million cars in the world, and say that only, this means generous, only 10% of that were driving at nighttime. That'll still be 7.4 million cars driving, and say that only 10% of those cars wrecked. That would still be 82,000 people. Now, that's only if those people got injured. That could be, that number is, like I said again, is not a set in stone number. This is just stuff that I've written up over the past 30 minutes and very fascinating, isn't it? Well, let's move on to food, because food is a huge, everyone relies on it. You eat food, I eat food, we all eat food. Okay, so the whole world grows enough food to feed 10 billion people. Now, if we take one day out of the year, that is 27.5 million meals. Now, if we say only 20% of those meals are produced by artificial light or through like electricity, anything like that, that would be 1.4 million meals. Now, say this is still being super generous. 1.4 million meals. Let's say that 10% of those meals, that would still be over 110,000 meals people are not getting. So that added up could easily be 250,000 people. 250,000 people, probably within 12 hours, gone. Now, why it was such a scare is because if it did happen, things would literally go complete. Like, I mean, cars rely on it. Anything you can think of that we use in our daily life usually relies on it. Let's say, for example, dams. There are 57,000 large dams in the world, which basically means 57 like dams, lake dams, city dams, river dams, whatever. And the power goes out to those. So what happens? It cannot let water through. It builds up, breaks the dam. Now, say it's only only 10% of those dams broke. That would still be about 6,000-7,000 dams. Do you know how much damage all that water does to towns? Floods, houses. There's no time for warning. I mean, the power goes out. I mean, you're still in your house. Dam fills up, floods the place. Thousands of lives lost. Probably hundreds of thousands. I don't know. Now let's take into consideration all the banking, the transactions from one bank to another bank. The amount of money that would be froze in time because of the Y2K kind of crisis that would happen. Do you know the number of robberies of businesses being broken into by just people freaking out because their money is somewhere else? They can't get to it. No one can. That would be insane. Like, the people would start going crazy. It would be like Black Friday on a massive scale. I mean, just people trampling each other. That's what I would guess it would be like. Think about all the people in cold places that's what they've adapted to. I mean, they've adapted to warm light, warm heaters. People in Russia, middle of nowhere, no contact. All of a sudden, all power goes out. I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, so you're talking probably about millions of deaths. That's just my guess. I could be totally off on that number. I could be totally wrong in that number. I know. It's just that's what I think would happen. People would get crazy. There's no doubt about that. It might happen again. They say basically they're dealing with the same problem in 2038, January 1st. Basically, 1970s computers were programmed, and that's when their timing would come up, would come to a freeze. But I think it shouldn't be a problem since we got past 2005. It should just be overlay, and we might have to update computers in the process, but we have brilliant people that would do that, so I don't think it would be a problem. But I've seen a lot of stirring around it, a lot of ideas and theories and whatnot of what would happen or what is going to happen in 2038. But I'm not going to say anything's going to happen. I don't know. Probably won't. It'll probably just be another day. This is just what if. I mean, what if it did happen? What would happen? What would you do? That's the question, because I don't think anyone in this world is prepared for stuff like this. Not saying it's going to happen, not saying the Y2K is going to happen, it's probably not going to happen. We're pretty stable. We got past 2000 without any problems. No one likes uncertainty. You can ask any person. That's what drives kids at ages 18 to 21 crazy, because they don't know what their future is going to hold. Everyone in the world doesn't know what's going to happen. It's literally like the apocalypse. That's what it would be like. Because people do not know how to handle uncertainty. It interests me to think of what if this happened, what if that happened. I'll probably be doing a lot of these later on the channel if y'all like them. It's not, I think it's interesting. I don't know what y'all think, but tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Also hit that notification bell and subscribe if you like this video. Thank you.